Did it shift? Okay. I didn't bring my little camera stand with the selfie stick. And I didn't sit outside because it's cold and windy. I know it's sunny out, but it's cold and windy. And I didn't want to sit outside trying to make a video and having to shout at you guys because the wind's blowing. And so, besides, I'm having my probiotics. Thanks, Teresa, for suggesting this. But I think I bought one that just doesn't sit right with me because it's like very low sugar, which is good for me. So I'm eating it. It's good. Good for me. So I want to tell the story about donuts. Because 2 weeks ago, Bobby and I all of a sudden had an idea that we used to go to this place right down the road called Jelly Donut. And when we used to live down here in Midtown Reno, all the good restaurants are around here. I mean, walking distance from our apartment at the time. So we would walk anywhere and grab whatever food. Now we're trying to watch what we eat and everything. But 2 weeks ago, Friday, it was kind of a rough day. And Bobby was just so happy it was Friday. So he said, why don't we grab some jelly donut? And I was just like, yeah, why don't we? So we went and got a box of dozen donuts. And I try to get like 2 of everything. That way if I eat something, I don't feel bad about eating the last kind of that kind. And Sam, the young Croto Hunter, he likes the maple bars and bear claws. Bobby, the Cold Springs King, he likes to have those small donuts that have the pink glaze or the chocolate glaze with the rainbow sprinkles. Yeah, those are his favorite. And so I like either the raspberry jelly filled one, the sugar donuts, the one with the crumble on it, the brown sugar crumble. I'm drooling. Anyways, I like them all. You can tell. My donut went right here. Anyways, donut with a glass of cold milk. Can't go wrong. So we decided we'd get a dozen donuts. I brought them here to the office, and we bought them in the morning when they were fresh, and we were going to just bring it home with us at the end of the day and kind of just graze on it throughout the weekend whenever somebody wanted a donut. And young Croto Hunter loves to have a donut on Saturday morning, and you know, that's the weekend. We had the box of donuts here in my office. Bobby left for work. It was around lunchtime, and the driver shows up. Our driver, let's say his name is Brad. Okay, anyways, great guy, really nice. And the guy's job is just to drive from all the mortuaries to the headquarters to the crematory and deliver things, deliver ashes, death certificates, pickups, drop-offs, whatever. And he all does it without complaint. He's a great guy, nice guy. So he comes in and I'm like, hey, Brad, you know, we got donuts. Would you like one? And he was like, oh my God, I love donuts. And so he opens it up and he looks and he's like, he points at the Bavarian cream with chocolate on it. And he's like, do those have the cream in it, the custard? And I said, yeah. I said, you want a plate? He's like, sure. I turned around to grab a plate. And when I turned back, this fool was holding both of them. There was only 2 in the box. And he grabbed both of them. I was kind of like, oh, you really like those? And he's like, I love these. So he not only ate both of them, but he sat down at my desk. Brad sat down, and he just sat down, chit-chatted with me, and ate them both. I was just thinking, okay, well, usually I leave at least one of a certain kind. It's just kind of a thing for me. Like, don't take the last of that kind until you know everybody doesn't want it. But that's okay. It was not rude because he is the nicest guy. I did, in all fairness, offer him to take whatever he wanted. So, here's the funny thing. Last weekend, which is a week later, Bobby wants donuts again. He's like, that was so much fun. We hadn't been at Jelly Donut in years. And he's like, can we get another one? I was like, yes, we can. And then I remembered Brad. And I told Bobby, I was like, should we get a few extras just in case Brad decides to take 4 this time. And Bobby was like, yes, let's grab 2 dozen. Let him have 6 if he wants, and then we'll have plenty for when we get home. So we did. We grabbed 2 dozen donuts. I brought them here. Same thing. We bought them first thing in the morning when they were fresh, and we brought them here. And they sat here in the fridge, and then Brad shows up. And Brad shows up, and this time I had grabbed 6 Bavarian creams with the chocolate on top. And I was like, hey, Brad, guess what we got this week again? And I also brought a gallon of milk from home. I said, I also brought milk in case you want some with your donut. And he was so happy. He was like, thank you. Are you sure? Is it okay? And I'm like, now you ask if it's okay? After you helped yourself to 2 last week, you're worried if it's okay? But that's okay. Brad grabbed the same 2 donuts. He grabbed a glass of milk. He sat down in the same chair across from my desk and ate both donuts. And later on, when I called Bobby to tell him, I was like, he ate the 2. I offered him 3 this time, actually, and he said, no, two's plenty. I was like, okay. And it was funny because Bobby and I were joking about him taking one of the boxes or something if we gave him enough leniency. But here's the really sweet part. You would think that, like, in a way, when you bring donuts and somebody helps himself to 2 or 3, there's a little bit of annoyance as to, great, just, take as many as you want. Well, yeah, take as many as you want. It was really nice when my husband was kind of like, that's okay, He was cool with it, and I was okay with it because really, I mean, it just comes down to simple sharing, and sharing something that puts a smile on somebody's face. You can either get annoyed that they took more than you offered, or be joyful that they took more than you offered. I know in certain cultures, I know that in my mom's culture, it's almost insulting if you don't finish all your food and ask for more. It's polite to belch at the table. It's complimenting. We're not talking about belching, but I mean, I know when I went overseas and we were eating at a restaurant in Qatar, it was a Muslim dish. It was delicious, but there was so much food. I mean, I couldn't believe why they gave us so much food. There was only 4 of us, and it looked like a feast for 10. My captain, he worked with a translator. Although the translator wasn't there at the time, the captain did indicate to us that the reason they do that is because in a household, if you don't have enough food to serve your guests, it's insulting to the guest. So they always want to make sure that there is more food than the guest can possibly eat. It's just like a service. It's a compliment to them. So, in the donuts, paying for the extra dozen just to make sure there's plenty for Brad to have and plenty for us to take home after is a good thing. And it was nice. And I'm really glad that he liked it. Question is, are we going to get another donut box this Friday? Maybe. Maybe we should. Maybe, here's a challenge, maybe we should just buy 3 dozen and let him take a whole box. You think? I don't know. We're not rich, that's for sure. But next time I think about offering somebody a little piece of what I've got, if they take more than I've offered, I'm going to feel honored about it. It's a decision you make. It's not something that, if you decide you're going to be offended about something, all right, it's on you. It's a burden you have to carry yourself. So, off the soapbox and back to finishing my probiotics. Talking about donuts, and here I am eating healthy yogurt. Actually, it is good. I love blueberry. So, lesson learned. Thank you guys for listening to my little story about Brad. He's a great guy, great driver. If he comes back again, I always offer him whatever I have, just because, well, hell, if he wasn't doing that job, then I'd have to do it, and I don't want to. So, thanks, Brad. Love you guys. I hope you guys are loving each other. As always, stay freaking salty or sweet.